Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with follow-up hot take on what else? The election. Let's get into it. 39 House Republican asked Bill Barr to ensure integrity of voting and counting process, and boom, breaking, AG Barr authorized federal prosecutors to pursue substantial allegations of voting irregularities before 2020 election is certified. This is pretty huge. This investigation could certainly gum up the works for weeks past the deadline of calling the election, and that would be it. You would then throw it to the Supreme Court, who would probably throw it to the delegates, and Trump would get it. Or the Supreme Court probably would give it to him, probably would give him what he needs to win, whether that's throwing out votes or nullifying whole elections. I'm not even sure. Not even sure what they would rule. But Bill Barr picking this up, oh yeah, this is big. Barr wrote that investigations may be conducted if there are clear and apparent credible allegations of irregularities that, if true, potentially impact the outcome of federal election in an individual state. Voters in Pennsylvania were held to different standards simply based on how they chose to cast their ballot, and we believe this two-tiered election system resulted in potentially fraudulent votes being counted without proper verification or oversight, Matt Morgan's Trump general counsel said. One of the many. Project Veritas, it mentions here, has released videos of USPS whistleblowers in Pennsylvania and Michigan claiming their supervisors told them to backdate ballots. Yeah, and they've gone on the record with that. So that's big. That's big. There are tons of allegations. It's just coming out. And, you know, it's bad. It's bad for the Democrats in that. So, you know, these are, and keep in mind, this is Breitbart and Gateway Pundit, so these sites are pretty right-wing, but I'm not sure where else you can get the news anymore. Yeah, I mean, Fox just today turned off Kayleigh, what's her face, the press secretary, when she started talking about voter fraud. Just cut away from her, basically. So Fox, even Fox. So you could tell, I think the establishment is desperate now. Desperate to make sure Trump doesn't win this. Which is, to me, an indication that he probably will. Unless they've got something up their sleeve. Unless they can get to the judges. I don't know. And then here, Real Clear Politics pulls Pennsylvania call for Biden, withdraws electoral votes. Real Clear Politics Monday pulled their call for Joe Biden in Pennsylvania. No big deal. But, you know, again, the media doesn't call the election. Still, that's a sign that people are getting nervous. You know, the headline... Wow, they want you to believe this. Biden gained over 1 million votes in Pennsylvania since the morning after the election. Yeah, it sounds ridiculous. It just sounds ridiculous. Arizona's not done. Georgia's not done. I think North Carolina is done for Trump. I mean, that's like almost two. It's almost 2 points. That's a fairly big margin in this, but Jesus, they're still not done counting the votes or stuffing the ballot box or whatever. But as you can see, these are all very tight races, so they're all going to get recounted. Alaska isn't even close, and I cannot imagine why they haven't called it for Trump. That is just the dumbest thing ever. Call it for Trump. Alaska always goes red. You're not going to have soy boys puttering around in Alaska saying, Black Lives Matter, we need to have a protest in the snow. No one does that in Alaska. They're too busy surviving and worrying about bears. Stop this nonsense. I mean, Jesus, just call Alaska for Trump, will you? 59% of the votes. What is taking so damn long? Probably because everybody lives so far apart in Alaska. I don't know, but Trump is going to win Alaska. I mean, let's be real here. Unless the deep state is driving up to Alaska to stuff the ballot box for 3 friggin' votes, I wouldn't put it past them, but you know, they're going to recount all these. All these are going to be recounted, and in some manner. It's going to, and they're never going to get it done in time. How are they going to get it done in time? They couldn't even recount one state in time in 2000. They were trying to recount Florida, and then they were just like, all right, we were out of time. What do you mean you're out of time? It's only one state. You're normally supposed to count them at night. It's because they never really count them. That's what I think. That's what I thought in 2000. I said, you know what? They probably never count these damn votes. They probably just go, well, this county normally goes for Democrat, and here's the percentage. And they'd look at 3 or 4 of the votes and go, yeah, that looks about right. Let's just give it whatever it was last year. That's, you know, never put laziness past human beings. Human beings are some of the laziest creatures known to man. It sounds like something I would do. If I was doing all that work. Oh, Jesus, man, I got to count all these votes. We know who won. 1, 2, 3. Let's just give it to the guy who normally wins. That's what they normally do, in my view. That's just a guess. That's just my speculation based on my lack of confidence in humanity, I guess. But now, no, Trump is blowing the lid off these voters. And Tim Pool makes an excellent point in his videos that the strategy of the Democrats was to get the vote out by going door to door and really canvassing and urging people to hand in their mail-in ballots. That's true. But I think what Tim fails to factor in is the amazing amount of people Trump brought over. And I think despite the fact that the Dems dug deep to get their crowd to vote, I don't think that would make up for the Trump support. And the people that Trump brought over, or at least brought over enough so they wouldn't vote for Biden, I think that's probably a higher number. But I'm biased. Breaking. Everything's breaking. Trump campaign files lawsuits in Pennsylvania alleging creation and implementation of a legal 2-tiered voting system for election. Yep. This is a done deal. There's no way Biden's getting Pennsylvania now. There's too much nonsense going on there. They essentially broke the rules. Wolf was an idiot. The court was dumb to extend the time. And now they're going to pay for it. Now all those votes are going to be discounted. Or the whole election will be. This could break the entire election. At some point, the Supreme Court could just nullify the whole damn election and say, throw it to the delegates. I mean, that seems at least fair. I mean, I know Trump's going to win, but he might not. I mean, there's really no chance of Trump not winning, I don't think. But look, at least if the delegates did it, the delegates, I mean, that's a legal way. If the Supreme Court just passes, look, when the Supreme Court did it in 2000, I was outraged. I didn't think Bush should have gotten it. I thought Gore should have gotten it. Gore won. I still contend that Gore won. In this case, I think the only fair way would be to throw it to the delegates. But Trump's going to win that. And nobody on the left will accept that. Federal government won't help Biden's transition. Ascertainment has not been made on power transfer, according to the GSA, the General Services Administration. Yeah, dummy. As I said in my tweet today, don't hire the moving truck yet, Joe. You're not getting in yet. So don't come sniffing around the White House until you're inaugurated. But there's all sorts of rumors that the Biden administration is contacting everybody overseas. I thought that was a big deal when General Flynn was talking to the Russians, but I guess I just must have imagined months and months of impeachment hearings. Republican state attorneys general asked Supreme Court to take up Pennsylvania late ballot. See, here's the thing about Pennsylvania. Their governor may be a soy boy, but the state legislature is not. So basically, you got a Democratic, let's say, president of Pennsylvania and a Congress that's pretty red. So they're the ones in control. They're not going to let this go. No way. No way. They never should have let it go this far. I tried to warn Democrats. I tried to warn you. The mail-in ballots were stupid. Trump was setting you up. He set you up. You might have been able to beat him in a fair election. Maybe. We'll never know. Because you idiots, oh no, we'll do the mail-in ballots. Yeah. That'll advantage us. Idiots. You're idiots. You're greedy idiots. And Trump plays you like a fiddle. He was ready for this. He knew it would F up everything. And look, they're going to have statistical experts to show that this, the swing states, the ones that are having all the problems, they're the ones that aren't going like all the other states. All the other states, even the states where Trump lost, his rise was charted in different groups, in almost every voting group. Black vote, Latino, Muslim, Jewish, women. All this rose for Trump, except in the swing states. Just the swing states. That doesn't make any sense statistically. Those states aren't isolated from the rest of them. Okay? Even in New Jersey, Trump's power base here wasn't enough to give him New Jersey, but it's definitely increased. I can tell you that. There's definitely a lot of guys wearing MAGA hats and running around with the flags, way more than the first election. The first election, yeah, people here couldn't give a flying F about Trump running. They hate him. Now it's a different story. A lot of people have been won over. That was repeated in every single state. This is America. This isn't Europe. These aren't different countries. They're different states. They're slightly different. But they're not different culturally. They're not different in terms of the media, in terms of the internet. Why would just the swing states he would lose? Why? And some he didn't even lose. So, doesn't make any sense, statistically speaking. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Every Republican in every state legislature that will file something. It's going to get jammed up and it's going to end up in the Supreme Court. It will. And here's the problem. Biden readies executive orders to reverse Trump policies on day one. This is what Barack Obama should have done. But he didn't. He didn't have the balls to do it. But Biden, well, he's got a mandate from roving bands of idiots out west. And, of course, the billionaires that back him. So this is what he's going to do. He's going to reverse everything. He's going to reverse the trade treaties. We're going back to outsourcing our jobs to China and hollowing out the Midwest. Goodbye, manufacturing jobs, if Biden's in. Also, too, hello, critical race theory. Oh, yeah. I hope you don't work for a big company, because every big company will eventually be forced under Biden to adopt critical race theory as discrimination training. So you won't just get discrimination training. Oh, no, no, no. If you're a white cis male, you'll have to write an essay about how toxic you are and apologize to a room full of coworkers about your racism. Won't that be comfortable? And finally, something happy for the Trump supporters. Why I'm certain Trump will win a second term. Janet Porter, Amy Coney Barrett took her seat for such a time as this. Yes, Amy Coney Barrett is the fifth Beatle here. She is going to win it for Trump. Whether the court takes it down. Look, you got Amy Coney Barrett appointed by Trump. 3 justices appointed by Trump, including Kavanaugh, who got grilled by Kamala Harris. And then you got Clarence Thomas, who got grilled by Joe Biden. That's 4. That's 4 pretty much on the side of Trump. And you got 2 more conservatives. Alito probably won't be voting correctly, but the 5th one, I don't know who the 5th guy is, but I think Trump's got it. He's just got to get to court. And that's what Rudy Giuliani specializes in. So, if you're a Democrat, you should be happy about this. Because this will give you something to build your party on. Okay? Something real. Not Joe Biden. Joe Biden would take you down forever. Joe Biden would spiral down the entire country. Left and right would unite to kick Joe Biden out. He'd be lucky to finish his term. If he somehow stayed in, I'll tell you right now, he'd be impeached after the midterm. That Hunter Biden stuff, oh yeah, that won't go away. Kamala Harris, I wouldn't expect much from her other than critical race theory and putting people in jail. So this could help you. You could regain sanity in your party again. You could go back to the basics and rebuild. And look, by the end of Trump's second term, there will be all kinds of things to complain about. And you could take the White House again. Probably Congress too. But if you let Biden in, you're already losing the states now on the state level. Trump, if he doesn't win this, he's going to pull out the roots of your Democratic machines in every major city. Not to mention to F Joe Biden on the way out the door by declassifying God knows what. You'd be completely effed. Joe Biden would go down the tubes. Kamala would take him with him. The midterms would be a nightmare for... It would just go red, 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 red. You would lose the Senate. You would... you're not going to get the Senate anyway. You would definitely lose the House. And then in 2024, Trump would come back and win. He'd absolutely win. Because it would be an easy comparison. How was it under Trump? It was pretty good. How was it under Biden? Oh my God, it was a nightmare. And you could kiss the Democratic Party goodbye.